Can I just, when we talk about our MC equals to MR, it gets to a stage that we cannot go further. If we go further, we will incur more costs. We'll go back to the same thing. Do you get the point I'm making here? Do you get it or not?
Yeah.
So, do we get it now or not, please?
Yes.
Hello? Hello? What's that?
Yes, it does.
So we go to shut down in the long run and the short run. Sit down properly, please. For shut down, what happens in the shut down? A shut down simply means the business is closing down. Why would the business close down? It is not when the business is making a loss that it should close down. In the short run, it is expected of a business to not make a profit. So if you are not making a profit in the short run, you know what a short run means?
Yeah.
A short run means we have a fixed factor of production. That is what a short run means. That all the factors we use as input, we have one that is fixed in the short run. So the one that is fixed in the short run, there's nothing we could do about it. So if we are making a loss in the short run, it doesn't mean that we should shut down. A loss in the short run does not mean a shut down in the short run.
Okay.
So if a firm is able to cover up its variable cost in the short run, it would have meant that its total revenue exceeds its variable cost. You guys, you are better focused here because you're going to do this analysis for me.
Can you repeat?
I'm going to repeat now.
A short one.
There is a short run and a long run. In the short run, one factor input is fixed in the short run. In the long run, all factor inputs are variables. That means in the long run, we can use all the variables, all the factors the way we want to use them. They are flexible in the long run. But in the short run, because we have one that is fixed, it means we cannot use that one in the short run. For example, in the short run, we might not be able to change this school to become maybe a living room or whatever it is, or to become an office in the short run. But in the long run, we can do it because we make a plan for it. In the long run, all factors are flexible to use them whenever we want to use them on. Now, as a firm, you need to consider your short run and long run for your short down. Short down means you are closing your shop, you are closing your office, you are closing your company. So what will make you to close your company in the short run? In the short run, if you are unable to cover your variable cost, it means your total revenue is less than your variable cost. Then you should shut down. Do you get the point I'm making here? Variable costs are costs that increases as the level of output increases. So if you have increased your level of output, it would have meant that you are going to sell those products that you've produced with that cost as your revenue. So if your total revenue is greater than your variable cost, you should consider shut down. Because it means this is what you use in producing what you are selling. You are unable to cover up the cost.
But you have revenue more.
Yeah.
What?
How?
You mean less than?
Sorry. Less than.
Yeah.
Less than, please. It's less than, sorry. What I'm saying in essence is this. In the short run, you have your variable cost, which goes to what you have produced as a business. So if you are unable to cover up for what you have produced in the cost of selling, then you should consider that business shut down in the short run. But if your variable cost, if your total revenue is greater than your variable cost in the short run, you should continue the business. You should not shut down in the short run. That is short run, shut down. Do we get short run in shut down?
Yes.
For shut down, it means the business is closing up. The business should close up. The business should consider to close its shop if it's unable to cover up its variable cost in the short run. That is short run. Then in the long run, where all factors are variable, the business should be able to cover up for its total cost. So in the long run, your average cost should be equal to your average variable cost. Because all your factors, can you just stop this already? You stop already. In the long run, there is no fixed cost. All the factors are variable in the long run. So it means your average variable cost must equal to your average cost. Your average cost is your total cost divided by your output. Then your average variable cost is your variable cost divided by output. So these two must equal to each other in the long run. Do you get what I'm saying here?
Yes.
You don't get it? In the long run, we don't have anything fixed. because all factor inputs are variable, they are flexible. So in the long run, whatever we produce is expected to be sold. If you are not able to cover up your cost in the long run, you should shut down. You just have to, because you're not covering all your costs. You are incurring costs in the long run, and you are incurring more costs, and you are unable to cover for the cost. How? You shut down. In the short run, you don't need to shut down if you are unable to cover up your total cost, because it's only part of your fixed cost. Because total cost is FC plus VC. But if you are able to cover up your VC without the FC in the short run, you should consider continuation of the business. Because in the long run, you might become flexible to use your variable factors. Do we get it now?
Yes.
So the difference between the short run and the long run shutdown is that in the long run, a firm should consider shutdown if his AC is not equal to his AVC. A firm should consider shutdown in the short run. Put your head up, please. A business should consider shutdown in the short run if its TR is less than its VC.
Mr. AC is average cost.
Yes.
ABC is average cost.
AVC is variable cost. Average variable cost.
Okay.
Here is TC, which is FC plus VC. Here is just about VC. So the point is, if you are not able to cover up for these in the long run, then you are not supposed to do the business. Now let's take an example of the rent. In the long run, your rent is a fixed cost, yes or no? So if a business is not able to pay, okay, let's assume the school rents this building. If the school is unable to pay the rent of this building, the school will be chased out. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because it means the school is running at a loss. Because that is in the long run. In the long run, you have to think about your fixed costs and your variable costs, because they all become variable costs in the long run. So do you understand the difference now? Do we understand the difference, please?
Yes.
We have our marginal cost and marginal revenue. When we have our marginal cost equals to our marginal revenue, we call it profit maximization. When our profit maximization level of output, what will make it to increase? It only increases if our revenue increases. It falls if our cost of production increases. That's about marginal revenue and marginal cost. Any questions about it?
No, thank
So
you.
that is